All right.
Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great week. So, as of the last day, Friday, we'll end up with a good Katakata session. So, today, Katakata session will be conducted by Lishan Peiris, the assistant manager of marketing team, and he's gonna give us a little inside and out about creativity and what he's been working on. So, without delaying the session, Lishan, you can start. Thank you.
Thanks, Ania. Hi, guys. A very good evening to all of you. So today we are going to talk a bit. This is like some basics about what is creativity and all of it. Just to introduce myself, I am Lishan Peiris, and I'm one of the members of the marketing team here at Creative. And I have said it as one of the members because in the latter half of the presentation, you will understand why being in a team will help uh, to be creative in your life. And then I like to take on new challenges, which is what I'm doing right now. This is a challenge for me. I've never spoken in a in a webinar, but I love to travel and I like to take pictures while I travel. And then I've been trying for ages to make an original song. So that's about me. And then in today's Katakata session, uh, this is not all right. We're going to talk about the definition of creativity and what makes you creative, what drives creativity, and what happens when you have a creative block, and if there are any techniques to overcome if you ever have a creative block, and then how to foster creativity in your day-to-day activities. Uh, Seni, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I
Can you
can
hear?
hear you, Lishan.
All right. Okay. So creativity, when you talk about creativity, people, what comes to your mind is just art, artistic stuff, and everything. But it's an essential skill that can be applied to many areas in life, including your work life and your personal life, and to solve any problems that you have in your life. So in this talk, we'll be exploring most of the fundamental principles of creativity and how you can cultivate your creativity to achieve your goals. And let's talk about the definition. Now, to define what is creativity, there's no specific definition. I mean, creativity is subjective to each and everybody. Some people are more creative than others, while some people, I wouldn't say are not, but there are some levels in your creativity. I'll talk about it in a later slide. But to have a specific definition, it is an ability to generate new ideas or concepts, or to make connections between the concepts that are already been given by other people. That means you are influencing from some other idea that you have heard from anywhere and from anyone, and to make it useful, to make an idea useful and valuable, and to make it original. So creativity is not just limited to arts, but it's a skill that can be applied to any domain, from your personal be to cooking and to in your workplace and everything. So what actually drives creativity? There are some human intellectual skills that allow you to be creative. One is choosing. We as humans tend to choose, I mean, we can choose from several possibilities, right? If you're trying to be creative, if you're trying to come up with an ideas, you look in the vicinity and see see several possibilities, and you tend to pick a preference, and then you can predict, right? Predicting is you make something known in advance based on a knowledge that has been given to you by anybody, or this a knowledge you have within you, and then you can interpret. uh, Interpretation means you explain or understand the meaning of something, and then you also can translate. Also you can recall. Recalling is one of the main things of being creative, because once you see something, it keeps on your subconscious mind, and then your mind automatically tends to creative something to gain into your future innovation. And the last one is manipulation. Now, all of these skills mixed with talent and personality drives creativity in each mind. Now, every human being has this choosing, predicting, interpreting, translating, and recalling and manipulating. But talent and personality is subjective. That's where the creativity diverges. And because talent is a natural endowment of a person, and talent and personality differs from person to person. So let's talk about the creative process. So when if you want to come up with something creative, the first thing that you would do is prepare for it. You would gather information. This is research and development. You would research on. You would ask from somebody, or you would go to the World Wide Web and you would search. Now you can go to ChatGPT and ask them everything, and then you set goals, and then you need to identify the constraints. Then what you do is, after you get the information that you need, you let ideas develop in your subconscious. You think hard, and you see what can I come up with, or maybe you write it down. And then while you're doing it, there comes an aha moment, which is the inspiration moment. You would be like, okay, this idea is great. I'm gonna pursue this. Or okay, there's another idea. Maybe I'll pursue this later. So you will come up with plan A, plan B, or plan C as well. That's where you evaluate. When you have an aha moment, you judge and refine the ideas. Finally, you bring ideas to life. That's the whole creative process you have. But there's another way that you can be creative. People have something called intuition, the gut feeling, or the instinct. Now, what is gut feeling? Gut feeling is where your subconscious does the creative process in an instance for you. Like sometimes you get an idea like this. That's your gut feeling speaking to you. Now, you would think, should I go with this gut feeling, or should I wait until should I go with the entire creative process? What we talked about earlier. My idea of gut feeling is uh, it's a feeling. It's an intuition. It's an subconscious feeling that your subconscious mind speaks to you with your previous experiences, good and bad. So I think you should listen to it. It's the easiest as most productive creative process. And let's talk about the creative block. Uh, there are several factors that. Okay, let's talk about what creative block is. Creative block is where you try to come up with something really creative, and you keep on thinking, but nothing comes to your mind. Uh, I mean, it has happened to all of us in some day, and one of the uh, factors that drives creative block is fear of failure. Fear of failure comes from what others think of you, and you would be thinking, would my idea would be enough for others to would they will they like my idea, or sort of thing. And then lack of motivation. uh, Lack of motivation is not passionate enough about what you're doing at the moment. And then lack of confidence. You're not confident enough with your idea to pull this off. And also maybe you must be thinking you don't have the skill set or the talent to pull this off. And then it is the lack of resources. This is something most of our Sri Lankans talk about when they say there's lack of resources to pull this job off. And lack of resources means we have no tools needed to pull this creative process off, sort of thing. Next one is overthinking. There are sometimes you will have too many creative ideas at once, and then you tend to lose focus, and sometimes come to a block, right? And you can't make any decisions because you have so many ideas going through your mind, and then you become you can't make a decision on it. Over communication is where you have too many brainstorming sessions with your teams. You are just talking and not coming with an idea. Every day you just talk, you just have meetings, and everybody wants to give you ideas, and that is over communication. And I mean, too many cooks will spoil the soup. And procrastination is mainly comes with lack of motivation and also lack of confidence, because you keep on saying, okay, I will do it later. I'm in a creative block. What can I do? I'm not having any ideas at the moment. uh, where can I get ideas? You do research, but you are not motivated enough to carry out this job. So procrastination is also a main uh, thing that we have in most of us. But in the next slide, I will tell you how to overcome this stuff. And also, mainly at your workplace, you will have the pressure of delivery time. I mean, sometimes some person would come up to you and say, okay, finish this task before the end of the day, and then you will become anxious, and then you will use your focus on how to do this job and everything. So how to overcome all of these, how to overcome the creative block? Fear of failure. I mean, you can take risk and learn from mistakes. I mean, nobody would blame you if you try and fail. So if you have a fear of failure, just take the risks, and the mistakes you make will be a learning curve for you. Lack of motivation. If you are lacking motivation, go with your natural motivation. I mean, I'll get back to it later. And then lack of confidence is, uh, if you are lacking confidence, seek feedback from your team, or ask from anybody from at workplace, ask from your team, at your personal life, ask from your partners and everybody. With lack of resources, you can use whatever is available, and also you can ask out for new resources. It's easy as that. Overthinking happens to most of us. What you can do is take a break and try different approach, or take a break and just take a break sometimes. I mean, for an example, Seni actually asked me to do a presentation on this, and then I have no idea how to what to present. I mean, I've been figuring out too many. It's not originally to be. I was not originally going to do creative VT 101, but then I took a break of researching on what to do, and then suddenly dawned on me, okay, let's do something with creativity 101. So sometimes when you take a break, uh, the ideas dawn on you. Uh, that because okay, that's why I mentioned over communication. All on time always helps. For procrastination, set deadlines or break tasks into smaller pieces. You can set deadlines for yourself, and keep on doing it daily. Keep on pushing tasks daily. And also, what you can do is start now. That's what I usually do. If I get a creative block, I start doing it without thinking of the failures, and then I show it to my team and I get feedback. So when I get feedback, I see whether uh, I'm going the right way or the wrong way. Then I can start coming to the right way. So continuous communicate. And also, if you don't have a team, you can have continuous communication with your inner mind. Right? You yourself can get your mind to brainstorm with you. If is this correct? Is this wrong? Sort of a thing. Then uh, let's talk about the techniques you can do to foster creativity within yourself. Uh, you can write down your own ideas, okay, as many as possible, but without censoring or critiquing them. Just write the ideas, whether it's good or bad. Write the idea. What I usually do is I don't write it down. I put it in my notepad in my phone, because it's usually, if I write it down, I used to I tend to miss it, and probably I'll lose the book as well. So what you can also do is just note it down anywhere you like. If you get an idea, just even, I mean, sometimes when you go in the bus or go in the train, you look right out the window, you get an idea. At that very moment, just write it down in your phone, and you can go back to it whenever you need it. Then practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is where uh, it's the concept of you knowing what you do at a very moment, right? For example, right now I'm doing this presentation and I'm mindful of it, right? And it will help you to focus attention and calm the mind. Uh, and also engage in diverse experiences. Just don't do the same thing over and over again. Just try to learn. Just try to talk with new people. Try to Google and see. Try to watch YouTube channels that brings new perspectives into you. Listen to podcasts. Read books outside of your usual interests. And I mean, even listen to music from different cultures. Uh, or probably simply explore the your environment with an open mind, right? And you'll wonder how much of new things that you would see even if you're traveling. Just don't go by your vehicle and just don't go to destination A to destination B. Just take a detour, just see how the village life is, just talk with these people. So these experiences will come back to your mind, and it will feed your intuition, or your gut feeling, and it will help. I mean, whenever you get a creative, uh, you get something to go with that, it will help you. And don't be too critical about your mistakes. If you make a mistakes, don't be too critical. Just try to overcome that in the next iteration. What we talk about, seek inspiration from art, nature, and other sources to broaden horizon. Inspiration is everywhere if you know where to look. Collaborate with others, that's a big thing. I mean, sometimes when I started my career, I thought, okay, creativity, being creative is a one person thing, but it's not. It's all about talking with others, getting others inputs, respecting others, and everything. The other thing is learning from wins and losses. uh, and then let's talk about the techniques of fostering creativity within your team. Have brainstorming sessions and generate many ideas as possible without censoring and critiquing them. And also share your ideas and experiences. Whenever you see something interesting, just share it with them, even on WhatsApp when you're at home, or just or on LinkedIn when you see something, share it on LinkedIn itself. Something, because even then you will see how you will get to know the perspective from the other team member as well, how they view the one you're sharing. And then communicate and seek help when you have a creative block, because just don't sit there. They will help you out. This is one of the main things: accept rejection and dealing with rejection. If somebody doesn't like your idea, just accept it and try to deal with it, and then try to come up with something better, right? Talk with them, and try to show them what you have done again, and maybe get some feedback. And probably then the whole team would be working as one. You have to respect each other's ideas, and then learn from wins and losses. Now, in the previous slide and this slide, I have highlighted learning from wins and losses in green. This is because, as we talked about earlier, you need to feed your intuition. Whenever you feed your intuition, your instinct, or the gut feeling with memories, with experiences, with what other people have said to you, it will be in your mind, in your subconscious, and it will come back to you whenever you need an idea. Whether it's writing a song, whether it's telling a story to somebody, whether it's creating an advert, or whether you are making a delicious meal for somebody, it will come to you. Okay, these people have said this. Let me try this. It's a natural thing. Uh, let's talk about being creative in the workplace, and or rather how being creative in the workplace will help the environment of the workplace. You have to cultivate innovative mindset in the workplace. When employees are given an opportunity to be creative, they are more likely to develop new ideas, uh, to innovate products and services. And it will actually help the business to grow and succeed. So you need to harness creativity in each and every department, not just the creative department, or because even if you harness it in the finance department, they will come up with new methods to have a productive business. Then you need to foster an environment where each idea is appreciated, regardless of the seniority or the position. That's how you drive things forward. You need to have also have a diverse workforce where you get your creativity from? I mean, uh, because each and everybody has a different intuition. They have learned from different people. So when creative ideas are coming from different ways, you will have different perspective of people. And then you also need employees to encourage to be creative. And so if you talk about all of these things, it will eventually help to have a good job satisfaction and employee happiness, and it will help to increase productivity. Let's talk about how creativity will help you with your personal growth. You will have a sense of purpose. A sense of purpose is where you can engage in creative activities which you're passionate about. You may feel a sense of fulfillment and a purpose that can improve your overall well-being. And also, this can help you understand your values and interests. I mean, you can come up with a new hobby. Lately, people are talking whether there's a debate on creativity and artificial intelligence. So my point of view is creativity it is subjective, right? Even when I'm doing this presentation, I asked from chat gpt, but I didn't include anything because this needs to be my presentation and I need to drive it. So even though there are artificial intelligence tools, generative artificial intelligence tools that are helpful to be creative, it just replaces the talent that we talked about. So in initial slides we talked about the skills. We need skills, we need talent, and we need the intellectual skills, we need the talent, and we need the personality. So the artificial intelligence will only replace the talent. If you want to come up with the new let's just say you give a prompt to artificial intelligence to come up with the new image, it's just a tool and it's just the talent. You are the one who are driving it, you are the one who are putting the input in, right? So it is going to be your, at the end of the day, it's going to be your product. So uh, I mean, which means the ability to understand and respond to human emotions and cultural context and historical significance is crucial component in human creativity that AI may struggle to match. So before ending my presentation, I would like to uh, tell you three quotes that I really like in my life. So the first one is the difference between a cook and a chef. So I believe a true creative is more like a chef than a cook. I mean, a cook follows a recipe step by step and trying their best to replicate the recipe and maybe trying to replicate what's in the images, sort of a thing. And a chef, however, is trained to understand the ingredients, the taste, and the dining experiences, the flavors, or how to present, how to garnish, and what amount of uh, spices or what amount of ingredients to put. Because if you put too much ingredients, if you be overly creative, it's going to be a mess. So and because they know what should be needed, they are in a level to innovate or to seek uncommon combinations of create their own recipes from the scratch. So that's how creative people should be. Just don't follow the recipe, know what's in the recipe, and then try to create uncommon combinations. Which leads to my next quote: before going outside the box, learn what's inside the box. I mean, while being creative, many people talk about go outside the box, just make something outside the box. But what is the box itself, right? Before going outside the box, you need to know the basics. You need to know what people are asking from you, the frame. And when you know what's inside the frame, then maybe you can broaden the frame rather than going outside the frame. Because whenever you go outside the frame, it means you have broadened your frame. While whenever you come back to do the same thing, your box is bigger. Then you have to go outside again. So you have to know what's inside the box. There's another quote. I'm not going to explain it, right? Uh, but when you read it, it will hit you. It just says the electric light did not come from the continuous development of candles. That's innovation for you. Uh, I mean, if they keep on continuing improvement of the candles, we will not have the electric light. Uh, Thank you for joining with me for Creativity 101. If you have any questions, you can ask.
I have a question.
This is
Hello.
hi. This is Kushan. Yes, Kushan.
Yeah, yeah. Can you provide an example of a successful creative project you have worked on in the past?
Thanks, Kushan, for asking that question. Um, all right. Well, that's I wouldn't say successful, but so no, I can't talk about it. Maybe you can ask another question. But to how do you define a successful project? I'll talk about like that, right? There are some projects that I did that was influential for me to be at this moment right now, and these all of these are learning curves, and learning curves as in I have done my mistakes, and there are wins and losses. I have learned from my mistakes. So I wouldn't say everything was successful because I'm still learning and there's so much more work to do even at the place I'm working right now. So thank you for your question. That's my answer for you. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Thank you.
No worries.
And I have another question.
Right.
Uh, what are the metrics do we use to evaluate creativity?
Oops. I couldn't get you, Kushan.
What are the metrics do we use to evaluate creativity?
Next question, please. Thank you for putting. Okay, so to evaluate creativity, I think again, I'll be serious right now. I think it's subjective, right? Uh, Whatever you like in creativity will be not the ones that I like in creativity. Uh, so I think the question you ask is what are the metrics that you would have to measure the creative things that you did, but not creativity, right? So it would come to how the society would accept what you have done, and also how you would accept that you have done, because the personal passion. I mean, you should also like what you have you have put out, right? And then your team should like it, and then the society should like it. Uh, and uh, Also the time the it should be lifelong. Like if you get an advert for Coca-Cola or Pepsi, it's really the brand is very long running, and this it's so consistent. So being consistent with your creative flow and being innovating more would help you to be I would say that those are the metrics where you can actually calculate that whatever you have put out. But I don't think that you can measure creativity, but whatever you have done with your creativity, you can measure with. You can actually say you can have some KPIs to measure those in marketing. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer.
No worries.
Uh,
Yes,
are
sir.
there yes, are there any more questions, guys?
Aaron?
I think that's it. Lishan.
No, it's,
Thank
for
you very
joining.
much. Thank you very much for your lovely presentation. Hope our friends and our employees could use your tips to their daily lifestyle and be more creative and contribute to our company as well. And everyone, thank you for joining. Hope this gave you a few tips about creativity. Hope you guys have a great week. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you very much, everybody.